Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's What's Up Wednesday interview series. If you're new here, we meet with guests of our network and share out all kinds of resources, feedback, and updates to our industry. Today, we're fortunate to have Amy Brophy Neilsen with us. She supervises outpatient pediatric therapy at St. Mary's Hospital, and she's going to be covering all things Scottish Rite grants and how that's kind of relevant to the ECE industry and beneficial to you all. So, hey, Amy, welcome, and thanks for being with us today.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for letting me share my information.
Anytime. So to just kick us off today, briefly explain your role and how long you've been with St. Mary's Hospital.
Well, I've been with St. Mary's for a total of 40 years, and I am currently the supervisor of the Outpatient Pediatric Therapy Program, which is OT, PT, and speech therapy. And then I'm the director of the Scottish Rite Program here.
Awesome. So speaking of that, explain kind of what that grant program is for, like myself. I had never heard of it prior to meeting you, so I'm excited to learn all about it today.
So the Scottish Rite Program, it's a philanthropy. The Scottish Rite Masons have a foundation that they started years ago, and we happen to be one of 170 sites in the United States that receives funding for Rite Care programs. And it's just their philanthropy is to provide communication and speech and language therapy to children. And they really try to target the younger age to get that readiness. But we see kids year round through their 8th year, but then we see them in the summertime when they don't have access to any other speech and language services. So they will help fund speech and language therapy at Rite Care centers, and St. Mary's happens to be one.
Perfect. That's amazing. So like you said, kind of why is it beneficial or pertinent to the childcare industry if they've not heard about this before?
So it helps families pay for private speech and language therapy, and it's a financial application that you apply for funding to come to get speech therapy, and it's for any family who.
Okay.
It really isn't a low income kind of grant. It's for any family that needs assistance paying for private speech therapy, which is rather expensive.
Oh, yeah.
And even if you have health insurance that covers some of it, it will help with co-pays and deductibles and help you pay those. So it's their philosophy is we're here to help kids get services. Mm-hmm. And if a family, whatever a family can afford to pay per month for therapy, that's what the Scottish Rite will. We have a sliding scale. It's looked at your financial and then what your family circumstances are. So if you have a lot of health bills, you have a high income, but you have some other circumstances, then they take all of that into consideration. So some of our families pay nothing and some families pay several hundred a month, but it's definitely a savings to families.
Right. Oh, for sure. So you said it can be anybody, so there's no like age requirement or anything for that?
Well, their ages are between, we look at through their 8th year, we take them year round. And then after that, then we will see them in the summer. So it's birth to 8 for year-round funding, and then it'll cover for individual and group therapy. It just depends on whatever the family and the therapist agree that this would be best for this child. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So for those who are interested in inquiring or applying, where can they go to, or who can they reach out to for that?
They can reach out to me, and I'm at St. Mary's, and I can give you my phone number. It's 970-298-6158. That's the contact number, and I can get them all the information, or they can email me. I can give you that too. It's amy.neilsen at sclhealth.org. And we'll send them an application and all the information they need about how to get started in the program. So it's really for anybody, and it just helps pay for speech and language therapy.
Perfect. And it's not necessarily like insurance and things as open enrollment. It can be kind of whenever. Is there any time frame?
It's whenever. If your child goes through Child Find and they say you need speech therapy and you want to get more than just like programs in the school, then you can come here and talk to us, and we'll help with the funding piece of that for the kid to receive services. It's a great program. You don't hear much about them. They've been in the area. They've given us more than $3.5 million over the years that they've been here to provide therapy for kids.
That's incredible.
And, they've they're currently, they've given us $76,000 to buy equipment, and they've paid about $20,000 for parent education, and we're right in the middle of doing a presentation for from one of their grants that they gave us on early development. So hopefully we'll get that up and running really soon.
Does location matter at all for where the child is?
So it's our funding. Everybody has to be in Colorado. So there's different sites throughout the state. Montrose has this Rite program, but we will see kids from all over the Western Slope if families, if this is their chosen place to come. But there is a site in Montrose, and there's one in, I think, Craig has one now. So it's the funding comes from Children's Hospital. I mean, they're the center for Colorado. That's kind of where we function out of. And then they just identify different areas. And the whole goal is to get as many children that have access in the state of Colorado as possible.
It's necessary, right?
And we'll do telehealth, or we can do in person, or we can do a combination. In person, we like a lot because it's just easier, it's just more fun to have contact. But we can have, and so some families come in that are coming from different areas, and they come in for speech therapy, and then we'll give them a home program and send them home for a month and come back and do therapy here. So one time, and it just helps with funding, and Scottish Rite will pay for both telehealth and in-person therapy.
Perfect. Okay. And is there resources or anywhere people could read more about it, just website wise, that I could include?
Well, our website should be going up the 1st of August. And so there'll be some information. So if you go to St. Mary's, and then it'll be on the St. Mary's Pediatric Therapy Program, and we should have information on there, but we're just working on getting our website up and going.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, perfect. Well, that's awesome. You've shared a plethora of information. It's so necessary and so important here, especially in state. So that's a great program, and that's awesome that you're the director of that. So I'll let you have the final thought if you have any suggestions or feedback or resources for the network watching today for the Scottish Rite program.
So if you have concerns for your kids and wondering if they need services, or if you're thinking I can't afford to pay for speech language therapy, there's always just call us and we can figure out a way to get that done for you. So it's affordable. So if you can not give up the rest of all the things you need, and still be able to afford speech and language therapy for one of your kids.
Provide that. Yeah, that's incredible. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Amy. I appreciate it. We're looking forward to the connections that we'll have in the future. Next week's, we also have a coworker with Amy, so we're looking forward to that too, and potentially down the road. So we appreciate it. We thank you. We'll be in touch as well. And I'll include the resources in the comments and your contact info as well.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. Have a good rest of your day.
You too. Bye.
Yeah.